Glad to reintroduce Edward here on this channel. First time I've had him on my YouTube channel was about 2 years ago, and he was actually the first student from my chat room that I introduced to YouTube, and he has actually touched his six figures. He started trading just before COVID hit, and 3 years later, here we are. Welcome back, man. I see you're doing really good out there on the
Like,
small island. Where do you live now?
yes, I live in Malta. So
Wow.
I've been living in Malta for 1.5 years. I actually retired here in January 2022. So I'm retired, but I'm not, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're getting this money right here. That monopoly money, baby. You're getting this. This is you right now.
Absolutely.
This is you right now. So you
That, hey,
Malta for those that
that's
don't know,
a grey beard.
yeah, Malta for those that don't know is actually that's where I used to live. And I think that's how you got inspired to go live there after seeing the stories and the videos I used to post on Instagram and YouTube. And we've had a close contact ever since. You've touched your six figures, and I see you're doing really good. Actually, this apartment that you live in, you were telling me, this is not a rental, right?
No, absolutely
So
not.
so you
No.
ended up going to Malta, buying a place, retiring as well.
Yes, at 48 years old.
And remember what you used to say on my chat room. I remember 2019. You used to say, "I want to retire in Spain with a cigar in my hand, right, and with the sun."
Yes,
The dream, baby. This is the dream. This is what you said you were going
I,
to do,
you know,
and you ended up doing it.
I know, it's absolutely crazy. I sometimes find myself, like, I have to remind myself that, literally 4 or 5 years ago, I wanted to be in a certain place, and it's absolutely nuts because I'm actually here. I'm actually here on a Mediterranean island, smoking Cuban cigars, going out for lunch, going out for dinners. It's just, words cannot express, the gratitude that I feel. And of course, I've put an immense amount of work into this. Of course, I have. But I have literally realized my dream. I retired when I was 48 years old. Like, who gets to do that?
Mental.
Who gets to do that? Like,
Mental, man. And
it's
it,
crazy.
and it
It's
all
crazy.
and it all started with running on YouTube into my channel, all right? And you're like, you know what? This is an Irishman. I'm gonna listen. And now you have your own thing going on as well. So look, the stock market. What have you been doing? Because this is the first time, guys, I speak to him in 3 years, and I actually sit down and have a proper conversation. 3 years it was just
Yeah,
hi, hello,
Jesus.
how's things, But this is the actual first time in 3 years we have this conversation since I brought him onto my YouTube channel. So tell me, what have you been doing? What have you been working on? What have you been trading? What's the future like?
Yeah, so basically, the last time that we spoke, I was gonna actually retire from my job, but I was actually getting made redundant. But then I decided, right, I'm getting made redundant. I'm actually gonna retire. So that was October 2022. Yeah, October 2022. Then, I retired from job, and as a matter of fact, I have not worked a day for the man since the 10th of October 2020. No, not 2022. Sorry,
It was 20,
2020.
20,
So I've literally
20.
not worked a day for the man. Yeah, so 2.5 years. I'm old. I get a bit distracted with the dates, but I've literally not worked a day for the man in 2 years and 7 months. So since then, COVID, all that kind of stuff, I ended up moving out of the place that I was in. I moved into a beautiful, beautiful place in Glasgow, beautiful townhouse, blah, 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 blah. I ended up moving to Spain. I didn't quite enjoy Spain, so I ended up going back to Scotland, and then I actually retired to Malta. So on the 8th of January last year, not this year, last year, I retired to Malta. And life is just absolutely incredible. Like, this is what I dreamt of doing. I dreamt of coming to a Mediterranean island. Now, initially I thought it was going to be Spain. That didn't work out. I ended up coming to Malta. And I suppose one of the reasons that I came to Malta is because You know, I looked at your YouTube videos back in the day, all that kind of stuff, and I kind of had a real connection with it, literally just through the life that you were living. Yeah. And I ended up saying to myself, you know, I didn't fancy Spain. Where am I going to go? Initially, I thought Italy, and I thought, no, let's go to Malta. So yeah. I've literally been here for, you know, literally 1.5 years.
Amazing, man. So what have you been trading since then? What are you trading? What advice do you give those who are currently in the market? And most importantly, do you see that people are getting discouraged from trading, or do you feel like things have slowed down? Or what are you doing? What are you trading? The first thing I want to see, what are you trading now? That's what I want to know personally as well.
Well, I'm trading the exact same thing as what I was trading 3 years ago when we spoke. So I'm still trading FTSE 100. I'm still trading the Dow Jones. We spoke about that literally 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago in August, actually. So
yeah, it was 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
I'm still trading that. So, yeah. So I still scalp the FTSE 100 on the European Open. I then intraday trade FTSE 100. I then scalp the Dow Jones on the US Open, and I then intraday trade. But recently I've reintroduced swing trading. And the reason that I've done that is because at the moment, the Dow is sitting at 34.4K, 34.5K, depending on which broker you're using. So I've actually started swing trading. So I've actually placed 5 positions on the Dow Jones, short positions that I'm going to hold. My intention now, right as we are, I'm literally going to take 500 to 1,000 points from every single position that I have. So my trading actually hasn't changed. The last time that we spoke, almost 3 years ago, I was trading the exact same instruments, i.e. the FTSE, the Dow. I'm still trading them. Like, I haven't changed what I've done.
So you're just...
maybe I've tweaked it a little bit.
I was about to say, you've tweaked it. You've stopped somewhat. You've cut down on scalping and reintroduced this long-term style of trading. And yeah, it's suitable. Yeah. It's suitable for this market actually, because the markets are slow. You know, a lot of scalpers will find it difficult to read markets, so it's best to kind of just, you know, let the flow. Just go with the flow. Personally, now I've moved from futures. I moved from trading all these other asset classes. You know, other than stocks, because I started to find that they're getting difficult, and most importantly, the platforms I was using weren't that appealing to me for the long term. So I said, I'm leaving that. Yeah. I'm going back to the old days. Remember the old days when I used to trade stocks? Remember the old days? Yeah, we used to destroy the markets. Yeah. Like, you know, just trading the high cap stocks. Twitter, back when Twitter was there, I can pull up videos on YouTube where your name would come up on YouTube as somebody on the chat room, and we would just destroy Twitter. Everybody was alive back then. CCL. Everybody was alive back then.
I know.
Let me tell you what changed. Now. What changed now is a lot of traders have gotten discouraged. A lot of traders have gotten wiped. The only traders that remain, majority of, right, are the ones who understood what I was saying and the ones who came before COVID, like you. Do you know why that is?
Exactly.
Do you know why that is? Why people who came before COVID ended up sticking around?
Because we went through the heartache, we went through the turmoil, we went through the tough times, we went through absolute insanity. And the likes of myself and yourself, for those of us who had the mental attribute and the mental strength to go through that difficult time and just to remain confident and remained focused on what they wanted to achieve, we're actually out the other side.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of people that didn't come out the other side. But we did. I did, you did, and there's a lot of other people that did also.
For those of you that don't know what the other side is, see, when Edward here was trading, and where we're trading 2019, the market was not given. Like, we had to go search for selective, like we were selective of what we would trade. So the market was not easy like it was after COVID, where you just buy anything. And a lot of hot shots came about. Those hot shots disappeared. They don't exist anymore because they got wiped. They got chewed and spat back out. They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. The people who remain today are the ones who went through the hardships. and those are the ones who have permanent success. Before you go,
Absolutely.
I want you to give advice to those traders who are struggling today.
The best advice that I can give is, just don't give up, right? But when I say don't give up, you have to be clinical, and you have to be smart in what you're doing. So, for example, the biggest thing that I see is overexposure, right? So people overexposing their account, like using too much margin on a scalp trade, on a swing trade, on an intraday trade. Like people are, and we spoke about this before, people are too keen to make that big money. You have to rein that in, rein it in, small and often. That's like being conservative is what actually makes it in this business. If you're too aggressive, you're going to get wiped out. You're going to get wiped out. You have to be conservative in this business. You have to think to yourself, small amount of money each day, each week, each month. If you try and go for that big cash pot where you want to retire onto the yacht, you're going to get wiped out.
Yeah.
It's a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale. And as I said to you, I've been living my absolute dream for the last 2.5 years. I've been here for 1.5 years. And the only reason that I've been able to do that is we're having a conservative approach. And anybody that asks me for my advice, I always tell them, be conservative wins in this business. Being aggressive doesn't win.
Absolutely.
Just be happy to take that small amount every day, every week, every month. It all adds up.
Absolutely. And I must say as well, you gotta strip it down a little bit, right? Not everything you hear and see is to be followed, right? I mean, if there is no legitimacy behind the teaching, everybody can go out to teach, but the teaching is sometimes wrong. So you gotta be very, I guess, weary, that's a word. But just understand that
you have to be cautious.
Cautious of those who made it work and those who didn't, because I know I've been doing this for a long time. This is the same advice I've been given from the start of this YouTube channel: is to be cautious, to understand the game, and to just approach the market in with caution, basically. Because and listen, or don't forget to listen, right? If you haven't. Matter of fact, Samburo till today probably listens. He actually told me I still listen, because there's always something to learn. There's always something to learn.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's us done. Hopefully this video has helped you. We don't want to run over time. We're already at 13 minutes, 14 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys very soon. And thanks, Edward, for coming on. Thank you.